Employer only paid us on time if we faxed our timesheets. This happened about 10 years ago when I was working on the railways near London. I worked for an agency which supplied staff to the railways on a temporary basis. They were very old-fashioned, and as part of our employment contract they stated that our hand-completed timesheets had to be faxed by 7 p.m. on the Thursday for us to be paid on the Friday. Timesheets that were emailed even before 7 p.m. would result in wages not being paid until the following Friday. Obviously they chose the most inconvenient way, as it was 2014 and nobody had a fax machine, so that they were able to legally retain our wages in their account for an extra week. But my printer at home had a fax machine built in that I never used winking face. So after my first week, I plugged in my printer to the phone line, faxed my timesheet to the agency and waited. The next day, I still hadn't been paid. So I phoned them and asked why I hadn't been paid, but the response was explained in a dull voice by somebody who had obviously repeated the same sentence so many times that it had lost all meaning to her. As explained in your contract, only timesheets that have been faxed to us are paid the next day. If you've emailed it, your wages will be paid the following week. But I did fax it. Quote, she gathered her thoughts for a moment before replying, oh, okay? Which number did you fax it to? Quote, so I gave her the number I faxed it to, which was correct. Okay, I'll just place you on hold. She came back on the phone a couple of minutes later. Okay, yes, we've got it. Sorry, I can't remember the last time somebody actually faxed their timesheet to us. I'll get that paid now. As you can imagine, I told my colleagues the following day, and from then on, they all gave their timesheets to me to fax when I got home, so they got paid on time. At the time I wondered if they'd drop the silly fax versus email rule, but it continued, and so every week I'd fax in half a dozen timesheets to them. What's funny is there are also emails you can use to fax things and receive fax. My office got one because people insisted in faxing us. So if by chance you need to fax a document, https://www.gotfreefax.com/ Ye shall submit the timesheets upon the finest vellum, and woe unto those who do not deliver them, sealed with the baron's wax seal, and delivered by a horse of good character that has shown loyalty to the king. I remember about 20 years ago I had a car accident and the company refused to take the statement in any way other than fax. The accident happened during a trip to a different province where the company didn't have an office. So I typed the statement, detailed the damages part by part in Word using font size 48, and used the fax modem feature on a laptop for the last time in my life to send it over. When I came back, the girl that worked at the insurance office in my town told me it took 2 rolls of fax paper to print the entire thing, and she had to submit it to headquarters in a binder because it didn't fit in the standard envelopes used to send claim statements. Not 10 years ago, but this summer, I was disputing a tax issue with my state government tax authority and mailed them a certified letter. Yes, certified return receipt. It apparently disappeared into the bowels of their mailroom or something. I asked my tax guy who called them and was told to fax it in. That way it would be sure of getting to the correct office. At least so. Yeah, I had to find a free online fax site. Yup. Fax those 6 timesheets. Then fax 20 completely black pages. Do that every week. Faxing those sheets would come to a stop quickly when they have to change print carts or rolls. Every time. I worked for an IT staffing company that had a similar rule. Timesheets had to be delivered in person or faxed. No email. Most of our employees were working at client sites, miles from company HQ. My client got pissy about us using their office equipment, fax, copiers, to conduct our company's business. I was the account manager and happened to live close to our office. So at the end of each pay period, I gathered up all my troops' timesheets and delivered them to the office. But to get there before they closed, I had to leave the client site an hour early, which meant losing an hour's worth of revenue. Suddenly we were allowed to email our timesheets. Green Spear by any chance? Although back then the railways still ran on fax as well, so we all queued up in the station office to fax our timesheets. There are free fax websites that you can use. Once in a blue moon I still need to fax things, which is silly because faxes are completely insecure.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.